a WrestleMania edition of Smarknado. I am your
Go
host,
home.
Eric. Yes, go home. I'm your host, Eric Druckman. With me, as always, the Danaconda, Dirty Dan Cesnit. How you doing, my friend?
I am, I'm not as tired as I've been, which is just excellent. Starting to get used to this life again. But, yeah, man, things are good. Things are good. How's your 2 days off been since we last
I
recorded?
haven't. 2 days off from recording. Oh, it's been all right, man. I am officially off for 4 days starting this afternoon, so I'm pretty hyped for that.
Oh,
Work
shit.
has been a little bit of a headache this week, and I'm just going to keep it at that. And I don't. That is one of the many mysteries of the show. What is my work? I will never tell. But
I'm upset I'm not working. I'm actually bored out of my fucking mind, my man. Bored out of my mind.
That's how.
But
it's like you're getting ready for retirement. That's how that's gonna feel.
I'm very close to retirement. It doesn't feel that, but got some things in the works. But let's not bore the audience. Let's really just get into the meat and potatoes of what we do here.
I mean, fucking A, man. This is WrestleMania weekend. We got so many shows that are coming up. I think that honestly, Dynamite last night, just because we're going to start with that first, was a good way to kind of spark the rest of the weekend, because I thought it was a very strong wrestling show, and it was a lot of fun overall.
I think we have some divided opinions on Dynamite. On a whole, I think we agree. I think we have some divided opinions on some segments for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just start off with what I think is probably a divided segment for the two of us. Adam Copeland comes to the ring to kick off the show. He really, honestly, from my vantage point, I understand that the CM Punk interview came out, and he had some less than complimentary things to say about AEW as a whole, and maybe even mostly Tony Khan. He didn't really specifically call out like the Bucks or Kenny Omega or anything like that.
No, he didn't.
But CM Punk, went on record of, kind of bashing AEW. And I just think that from people like Bischoff, from people like Cornette, from people who am I missing? That just Bully Ray that just regularly like put down AEW. I thought it was actually kind of refreshing to hear Adam Copeland speak from the heart and explain why he made the choice to come to AEW with this stacked roster, and for all of the things that AEW could be doing a lot better. There is something really special about it, and I thought that his promo was a good reminder of everything. And let me just say this too. It did help that it didn't come from Tony Khan, because when it comes from Tony Khan, it does come off as disingenuous and maybe a little bit petty. But when you hear it from Adam Copeland, and I honestly think he was speaking from the heart, just based on like how much he likes AEW.
Sure.
I thought that this was a good like kind of rallying cry for AEW, and I think that this was also a message of we can be better, and we will.
Here's the thing. The right guy did it. Right? Yeah. Adam Copeland was the right guy to do it. He is the anti-CM Punk in this situation, right? I get that. I am just tired. Let the in-ring work, let the product speak for itself. We know what that was. That was a direct response to something that not everybody saw, that didn't necessarily need to be reacted to. Many of the roster were basically like, after that CM Punk interview, were like, I just want to fucking move on. And it's just reopening old wounds, and I didn't think it needed to be said. Let the work speak for itself, because it has been.
I agree with that too, but like I don't think that this was like overtly like calling out Punk or anything like that. I think that this was like just
it was subtweeting, which is worse.
It was wrapped up in a message of, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. You should be enjoying pro wrestling right now, and just,
it was fun. It was veiled. It was a veiled shot, and I didn't think it was necessary. And I'm not defending Phil because fuck Phil, right? Like, to quote a friend of the show, Phil's a cunt, right? We get that, but you know, I just thought it was pointless. It was tired. It was the same, you know. You know what? It came off disingenuous to me, even though it was the right guy to do it. It felt like that. It just didn't need to be said. I don't know. The product has been really good lately. Every show has been, you know, 8 out of 10 or better to me. The last handful of weeks, handful of shows, and I think it was almost like a wah in a way. And I don't know.
I don't know, man. It really depends on what perspective you're seeing it from, because like I said, there are a lot of people that are kind of beating down on AEW constantly on a weekly basis, and they're the ones that are like speaking the loudest a lot of times. So
sure, they have huge platforms.
Exactly, and I just didn't think that like it really damaged the brand at all for someone like Adam Copeland to come out there and defend the brand, and not like it. Yeah, it was like what did it take? Like 5-10 minutes of the show away? Okay. Like,
I don't think it damaged the brand. I don't think it helped the brand either. I thought it was pointless. I thought it took away from what I want the Cope Open, right? Like, I want him facing. That was 8 minutes that he could have been wrestling an up and coming name.
Yeah, right? But he just did that on Saturday too, so you can't really complain that much.
But that's the point of the TNT title. Like, that is it's supposed to be. If you want to make it what it's supposed to be, the TV title, the workhorse title, then keep doing that and stop taking up time with promos where, like we know you love AEW. You're there over WWE. Mm-hmm. We get it. Like, you could have been either one. We understand you love it. Now let me watch you wrestle. I don't know. I thought it was well delivered. I thought the right guy did it. I just don't think it was necessary.
Okay, I respect that opinion. But yeah, just moving on, as we all should. Next, we had, you know, this brought out Will Ospreay, who Copeland proclaimed as the future of AEW, which I couldn't agree with more. And this was the battle of wills, Hobbs against Will Ospreay, and man, did they have an excellent match against each other. And this is one of the best, maybe the best singles match I ever saw from Hobbs.
I'd have to think back on it and look at his catalog or his cage match ratings, or not ratings necessarily, but who he's wrestled recently. But yeah, I mean, it's easy to say, you know, that's almost low-hanging fruit when it says, oh, Will Ospreay just got this guy's best match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're very well right. Yeah, absolutely. You're very well right that that is the
style of opponents that Hobbs normally faces. You know, it's not really like the high match rating guys.
No, he held his own as well, and I won't even say like Ospreay punched down, but he wrestled the style of the wrestler that he needed to wrestle, more so than his own style.
Yeah, and throughout the match too, I don't know, on paper I see them against each other, and I'm just like, oh yeah, big man versus little man. But then I saw them together, and I was just like, oh wait, they're a lot closer in size than like I imagined in my head.
Yeah, Ospreay gets that stigma of being like a small guy just because he's so athletic and high.
Because he was so for so long. He really was. Yeah.
That's just not him anymore.
It's not. But I thought that this was just an excellent match, and I liked the combination of what he used at the end of the match to beat Hobbs too, doing the Sky Twister press into the hidden blade. Pretty cool. I hope Ospreay is a guy that just, like, you know, he has many different ways that he can finish you off. Because I think both the hidden blade and the Stormbreaker are finishes.
I like the hidden blade so much more, but I'm a bigger fan of a simple finish, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like something that has to be set up so much, but they're both incredible. And I'm sure he could come up with 10 other ones if he wanted to that nobody else has ever done.
Right. Absolutely, man. But I thought this was a real test for Hobbs. I think that he passed with flying colors. I think that he proved that he can wrestle a main event style. And
Yeah.
again, I sing his praises every single week. This is a guy that AEW needs to invest in and needs to make sure that he's happy and satisfied with his booking. So he does resign long term, because I think that they need somebody like that is
Mhm.
like big and larger than life and can work. And I think that Hobbs is just a great investment from the very beginning. You
Yeah,
know,
you can't fuck up Hobbs again like Wardlow. Like Hobbs hasn't
Mhm.
lost the steam that Wardlow has, and I
Yeah,
think that, I mean, if we're being fair, I think that that has a lot to do with the Callis family being a lot more intriguing than Undisputed Kingdom, right?
sure.
So, um, but yeah, I wouldn't want to see that guy. He hasn't even hit his prime yet, not even close. So
Absolutely not. No. All right, next, this led us into another match of Lance Archer against Brian Danielson. And I'm sure that this was a match that Danielson requested, wanted to face Archer before. And yo, when they give Archer some time, and I know he's facing like arguably the best wrestler in the world, but he's a really fucking good worker.
he's one of the best. I would put him in, top 5 or 10 big men in all of wrestling,
Oh
easily.
yeah,
And I wouldn't
absolutely.
even call it close, right? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
there's a lot of great big men wrestlers out there, but he's, special in a lot of ways
He's
when he gets the
somebody
time.
that honestly, when I see him wrestle, it makes me want like, did he make the right career choice going to AEW? Because just what he does and who he evokes himself to be in the ring, without even the promo, just like as like just a brutal monster that just is heartless and will just beat the shit out of people. It's such a big like selling point of a monster gaijin heel in Japan,
Yeah.
and I feel like if he had actually stuck it out in Japan and like stuck around in New Japan for a bit, he could have had a really big run. Like, I don't, I'm not going to put him this high, but like Brody esque, Bruiser Brody esque, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's those are big shoes to fill, but I see
Yeah, I'm
your
not going to
point.
put him all the way up there, but still like
Yeah, no,
similar.
I see your point. And he's
Mhm.
still in New Japan and still wrestling there from time to time. But yeah, I see where your point being that he could have had a much different run.
For sure. And yeah, Danielson won with the running knee. I love it when he does that finish. Because I liked just by the end of this, it was just chopping down the big man and
Yeah,
just bringing him down to size, and just finally just finishing him off with like your best strike.
yeah, it was a whole story about a big guy versus a little guy, and the little guy having to do what he had to do to take him out at the knees.
Absolutely. All right, next, nothing we're looking forward to. Lionheart Chris Jericho interview. Hook says that he knows who he is, but they're going to have a tag team match on Collision. Blah blah blah, and they're going to face Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty.
Their half of the promo was better. I was
Yeah,
more intrigued and engaged with Shane Taylor's promo than anything that happened in the prior segment.
absolutely. And I think that's just it's the curse of Jericho. Honestly,
It's
he needs to
bad,
go
man.
away for 6 months to a year, because let's be realistic. He is going to stay in AEW. He's not going to
I
like go away.
I just
So
don't think he's. I think that part of Jericho thinks that he doesn't have a lot of time left in him, so he doesn't want to go away for any extended period of time.
I could see
That's what I
that.
think.
I could see that for sure. Um, but yeah, he needs to just fucking read the tea leaves and understand that like people don't want him around right now. He needs to fucking go away
Yeah.
and do one of his classic returns where he has kind of a new edge, new style. Anyway, did you read any of the Collision spoilers?
I have not yet, actually.
Okay. All right.
I was gonna try
Um,
not to and maybe watch it Sunday morning, but I have not yet.
Let me say this, and I mean, understandably so. It's going against WrestleMania. It did not look like Collision. They put together their best show as far as like the lineup is concerned.
I couldn't imagine they were going to.
I kind of disagree with that approach, considering the Copeland opening promo from Dynamite. You know, that was more of a like, let's put our best foot forward and, you know, continue to fucking crush it. And then they put a really lackluster card. But that's just me. Anyway, next we had Billy Gunn against Jay White. I really, really liked how this match started. And, you know, Billy Gunn got the sneak attack on Jay White.
I want to back it up a little bit because I don't think the card really matters because it's going on at 11:30 p.m.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's not going up against Mania. So just as a point of fact, it is not going up against Mania. It's going on after Mania. So
it's going up against Saturday Night Live. So we need to go check and see who's actually hosting Saturday Night Live this week to see.
I don't think either matters. But yes.
Anyway, Billy Gunn just attacked Jay White, and Jay White just kind of bumped for him all over the arena to Jay White's.
Literally.
You know, Jay White's amazing, and then how he just made Billy Gunn look so fucking good here. And this was just overall a fun match. I thought that it was going to be a clean finish, but it just ended up being like a DQ, and you know the factions just fought each other all over the ring, and you know more of this, and we'll probably get a big match at Dynasty.
Yep, I think we're going to get the. I do believe personally that they're going to merge the titles. So.
Absolutely. All right, and then we heard from Willow Nightingale on the ramp in an interview for hyping up her match for the TBS title against Julia. And man, did this get me right in the feels, right in my heart, bro.
I knew it would.
She talked about how special Worcester, Massachusetts is to her time at the White Eagle, which I've watched wrestling at the White Eagle a couple of times. Not as much as like a lot of other people have in that area, but still. And how special Beyond Wrestling is to her, and how she really became herself there. And she really just spoke from the heart. And I thought it was beautiful. I think that Willow is just such a beautiful person. And she just shined through in this promo. And this is like the fact that she just really just showed so much of herself in this promo is just a testament to why you never turn someone like Willow heel.
Oh, so Jesus Christ, you're on this again, man.
Yes.
I said it one time.
But dude, I'm saying this based off the fact that they had that weird segment from a couple of weeks ago with Mercedes, where she was like, she looked like she was going to hit Mercedes with the chair. I'm saying that more because of that, not because you said it.
I don't even think that that's even the most massively like baby faces use chairs too. I don't think it was the most heelish thing. Hitting her might have been, but thinking about it after her sort of ominously threatening her, I get it. I wouldn't call it a heelish.
Wait, did Sasha? No, she didn't really threaten her. She just said, "I have some unfinished business with you." You call that a threat?
I wouldn't call it. We need to go out and have a cup of coffee. I wouldn't call it a let's go out for a spa day.
Well, that segment, that's what left a sour taste in my mouth in that segment, because I thought that was the direction that they were going to go in. They were going to turn Willow heel. And I'm just like, let's not do that, guys.
They might have thought about it, but I don't see them actually pulling that trigger, not in the near future anytime.
Mercedes in this segment presumably revealed her in-ring debut, which is going to be a Double or Nothing after Dynasty to challenge the winner of Julia versus Willow. So, do you think that will be her debut?
Probably. I can see that as a big debut in Vegas, her winning the title. The problem being is, when is Double or Nothing? May. You sort of hot shot the title from Willow to Mercedes that quickly. I don't know.
How do you know?
I don't see Mercedes losing her debut match.
What if Julia wins?
She might. She could. I don't know. After all that, I feel like we might be getting a short-term Willow heel run or title run.
We shall see how it all plays out, my friend. Next, we had the Young Bucks in the semifinal tag title tournament match against OC and Trent Beretta, with Sue and Chuck Taylor to the ring. And all right, just talking about the match itself, awesome. I think all these guys just like can wrestle each other blindfolded. They just know each other so damn well, you know. They're made to wrestle each other, all these guys. And I thought that just like they were all in sync the entire time, and it was just a joy to watch these guys. But you know, the expected result happened. The Young Bucks retained, but the unexpected happened after the match, bro. Now let's preface this by saying that we saw the seeds planted for a very long time about Trent possibly turning on Orange Cassidy. And it was just really a matter of, you know, yes, when was it going to happen? Not if it's going to happen. But I really feel like in this moment here, they shocked me. And I give them credit for that, because like it happened at an unexpected time, in my opinion.
I at the first sign of a loss, I kind of thought it was coming, to be honest with you. I wasn't all that surprised.
Well, I love how they did it. You know, they were
executed. Yes.
They were going back for the big hug, the give the people what you want, and Trent came running with the Daniel Bryan knee right to Orange Cassidy. And you know what I did notice during that match too, which I had never noticed on Chuck prior. He was wearing an Orange Cassidy knee pad on the knee that he struck Orange Cassidy with.
Oh, was
he? Yes, he was.
I feel like he's been wearing that one since they've been teaming up, but yeah, I mean,
I didn't notice it until this match, so it was interesting that they got the turn here. But man, and also to mention too, the drama with Sue and the Young Bucks during the match, I thought was really entertaining and really good heat.
Yeah. Not Sue probably needs to learn how to work on her worked slaps, but yeah. Okay. I thought it was good. What we didn't see, which they showed, I don't know if it was on Twitter or where they ended up showing it, was, you know, the cameras approaching Trent and saying, "Hey, what did you do?" And then Chris Statlander coming up and him whispering something to Chris.
Yes.
So I don't know what that's all about, but I do believe that ultimately, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, but that heel turn is coming too.
In a line with Trent, that would be interesting, you know. Man, that's just like all-time moment in Dynamite history right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get somebody over as a major heel. We've always said it. Who do you have him go after? Darby Allin or Orange Cassidy?
Right.
That's it.
All right, next we had Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May for the #1 contendership of the AEW World Women's Championship. This was a great match. Tony, again, was just a fucking riot in the announcer booth. She said, "Can you please turn off the camera under the desk?" So, and it popped Taz and it popped Tony Schiavone. And then Thunder Rosa got the win here, and another moment of Toni Storm cracking me up. The fucking shocked look that she wouldn't get off her face after Thunder Rosa won. Great stuff as always with Toni Storm, and I'm always happy to see Thunder Rosa wrestling.
Yes, she's back. I mean, we'll talk about it once Dynasty comes a little bit closer, but I wonder if they put the title back on her and they go with a Mariah and Toni feud, but we'll see. We'll talk about that when we get closer.
Yeah. Backstage, Penta challenge Copeland next week for the TNT Championship. I am down with that. That sounds awesome.
Better than another 8-minute rah-rah promo.
Hey, yeah. Well, yes, it's better than that. Okay, I'll concede to that. AEW World Championship signing between Samoa Joe and Swerve finished off the show, and man, did this have a lot of emotion. Joe just fucking beating him with a chain, beating Swerve with a chain within a fucking inch of his life.
Joe's neck is so thick that the chain just didn't even phase him. Samoa Joe is the man, bro. But like, let's not take away from Swerve in any of this, where, you know, he another one of those iconic images where he signs in his own blood, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's going to be no shortage by the time Swerve's career is over with. There's going to be no shortage of iconic images that he's going to ultimately produce.
Absolutely, and I think that the majority of them are going to be within this like 3-year period from when the Hangman match happens. But I thought this was so cool in that, you know, Swerve, when he got on the microphone after being beaten with a chain and just said, I love this shit. The terror in Samoa Joe's eyes, like, I need to fucking kill this guy.
Basically.
I thought was awesome. I thought that was very cool. And it brings an element of, Swerve got the shit kicked out of him on this night. And, you know, Nana was upset and all that. But, like, there is a little bit from like Swerve kind of getting in Samoa Joe's head. I think that he planted a little seed of doubt.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe.
And that's all it takes, man. One seed, one straw breaks that back, right? So to me, I'm hoping that that's just enough to get Swerve over the hump and put that title on him. I know you don't necessarily feel the same, but I'm certainly looking forward to it.
I want it to happen. I want it to happen. I just don't think it does.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
Right.
I would love to see Swerve as champ. All right. The moment everyone's been waiting for. Let's talk about night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. We're not going to really get into we've already talked about all the lead ups to the road to WrestleMania. So let's do our classic. Who you got, who you want. Let's start off with WrestleMania night 1. Let's start with Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I think the baby faces win.
I think the baby faces win too. I'm very surprised that Dominic is in such a low profile match on WrestleMania.
I know why you want to know why this happened?
Why is that?
He was originally supposed to work with Brock.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that being the case. No worries there. That's excellent though.
I think
seems
that
like a.
Oh, go ahead.
Seems like a bit of a downgrade, but yeah.
It does, but it's still father versus son here in a tag team match, and then you have Dragon Lee and Santos, who are just two fantastic luchadors, and I think that this is going to be a really good showcase for Dragon Lee, and I hope that people, like, the casuals are just like, who the hell is that guy? I want to know more about that guy. All right, so next we have for the six-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, Balor and Priest defend against DIY, against the Awesome Truth, the New Day, A-Town Down Under, and the New Catch Republic. Dan, who you got? Who you want?
I want New Catch Republic, obviously. Obviously, I want Pete Dunne to win everything. I have a weird feeling that Awesome Truth is going to win.
Okay. You know what I'm going to go? I'm going to go with the New Day. I think that they actually retain it here, and I think that's like a big, happy moment for the crowd.
I think so too, but I think R-Truth winning would pop the crowd big as well.
Yeah. I just think that maybe the New Day coming back and winning the tag team titles is a good reset for the tag team division.
Maybe.
It just kind of be a proper tag team division.
If Big E comes out and celebrates with them, that's also big. No pun intended. But
for sure. All right, brother versus brother. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I think this is pretty much an easy one. Jey wins, and I think Jey should win because Jimmy is just his character is just a clown, honestly.
Yeah. I want Jey to win. I think Jey does win, Pretty simple storytelling. Well, not the most simple storytelling. They've convoluted it a bit, but I think that Jey winning is the right payoff.
Agreed. I think another likely scenario is Jimmy wins with help from Solo. Yeah. But we'll see. All right, next we have Monster 6 Women's Tag Team match. Damage Control, Dakota, Asuka, and Kairi Sane against Bianca Belair, Naomi, and the debuting Jade Cargill. This is going to be great showcase match here.
I love everybody in this match so much.
I know. I want them to give this match like 20 minutes, hopefully.
They're not going to get that much time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would. Ideally, I'd like to see it though. But regardless, I think this is going to be a great match, and I want the baby faces to win. And if the baby faces don't win, I don't really understand that.
The baby faces are gonna win. I have a hard time rooting against Asuka, but I just think that Bianca, Naomi, and Jade are a powerhouse team, and that powerhouse team is gonna win ultimately.
Absolutely. All right, next for the Intercontinental Championship, we got Gunther against Sami Zayn. Woo. I'm so split, man, because like I love Sami Zayn, but I also like selfishly don't want this reign to end for Gunther just yet. I think it's going to be Gunther that retains, but I'm split on who I want to win, honestly.
Okay. I got Sami Zayn, and I want him to. I don't know how. I don't know why. I just do. I think that Sami needs that after, the not necessarily the debacle against Roman, but I don't think he can take that. He'll be fine if he does lose. I just think that he needs that moment. And I think that Gunther gives him that.
For sure. All right. We have the tag team match of the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and The Rock against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Holy shit. This is going to be wild, but I want I want the Bloodline to win because I think Bloodline rules makes it way more compelling for night 2 for the title match. So I think the Bloodline wins, and it's going to be Bloodline rules. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, without Bloodline rules, night 2's match is going to make people angry because at least if it's Bloodline rules, people get involved and it's overbooked to shit, and Roman loses or Roman wins somehow, some way, people would be less upset, I think.
I think people would be just as upset.
If it was a straight up if Roman pinned him clean, I think people would be more upset.
I guess so. I guess that would soften the blow a little bit, but the blow would
Just
still be there very prominently, because people have just been waiting for this shit, bro.
Yeah. I got The Rock and Roman winning as well, and agreed. It's because the Bloodline match or Bloodline Rules match is the way to go on night 2.
All right, and finally for night 1, I know it's not going to be the main event, but fuck it, I think that it is the one. This should be the fucking main event of night 1, honestly.
Should be.
Yeah, it's Rhea Ripley against Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. This is going to be very, very good. I feel.
I'm team. Yeah.
I think the last couple of weeks have been really strong for this feud.
Yeah, some good promo material has been, handed out. I'm team mommy on this one, man. I want Rhea, and I think Rhea wins.
You know what? I'm with you. However, if Becky won, it wouldn't ruin my day.
No, I mean I wouldn't be.
It's at the end of the day, Rhea had a really strong year-long reign.
Yeah. I actually wanted to backtrack a little bit on that Intercontinental thing too, because you said Gunther is going to win, and I, I don't necessarily agree with you, but who, beyond Chad Gable, who else does he have to wrestle?
Ilya. And because there's also been reports that have come out in the last few weeks too, that when Ilya goes to the main roster, they're going to treat him like Gunther. So
I mean, they should. What does that tell you? He's on par. So I don't know. Okay. I mean,
maybe Braun Breaker.
I'd be interested to see that, but then again, you ruin Breaker's aura unless you want Breaker to be the one that beats him for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, is Braun Breaker in the Andre Battle Royal? Because if he is, he's my pick. I don't even care who else is in there.
I don't know at all. I have no idea who's in it. I couldn't care less. It's tonight or tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. Yep.
I haven't looked.
All right, night 2 of WrestleMania. Let's start off with a Philadelphia street fight. They have a team name, apparently. I didn't know when this happened. The Pride, Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford, of course, with BFAB. Did you know that happened?
No.
I didn't know that either.
I kind of dig it, though.
Yeah. Against the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam, and Rezar with Scarlett and Paul Ellering. I think you know what my hope is for this match is that it's wild and we get some run-ins from some prominent Philadelphia wrestling legends. You know what I'm talking about, bro? I want there to be some light ECW involvement in this match. Sandman gives one of them a Singapore cane or something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I can see it. It doesn't look like Braun Breaker's in the Andre.
Oh, that's too bad.
Andrade, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, Shinsuke, Omos, Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Ivar, the Creed brothers, Cedric Alexander, Ashanti Adonis, Elton Prince, Kit Wilson, Cameron Grimes, Sanga, and Veer.
Okay. So, who do you think wins that?
Has Omos won it yet?
No.
I'm going to say Omos.
You know what I was thinking about Omos? Random thought. I think they should turn him babyface.
I agree.
Yeah.
He's got a personality. A great
that'd
one.
Be a good way to get fans behind him, and he could just kind of be, I don't know, how Andre the Giant was at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Which he could barely move. Maybe a bad comparison.
All right. Not the best.
Yeah. All right. So continuing on here. Oh, by the way, who do you think is going to win that 6-man
The
Philadelphia?
Pride.
But the Pride.
Yeah.
I got the Pride too. Yeah, and they should rightfully win.
Correct.
All right. Next, we have a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Logan Paul defends against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Huh.
Logan Paul retains, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I would like to see a title change here. I don't know if Randy has ever held the United States Championship. I'm sure he has in some capacity.
Yes.
But I'd like Kevin Owens to win, just because
Kevin Owens winning would be pretty cool. I don't think he's been United States champion since he was like the champion of America. Remember when he came out in the suit all the time?
Yes,
When he did that little thing for a bit. Yeah.
Yep, I recall.
All right, next we have grudge match: LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I think that I want LA Knight to win. I think AJ Styles wins with help from a debuting Tama Tonga, which is a scenario that we have discussed before, my friend.
Did you just steal my whole ass idea?
Yeah, we've discussed this before.
Yeah, we discussed it after I brought it up, motherfucker. That's not discussing.
Well, I agree. I agree with your prediction. I'm giving you props, my guy.
Yeah, no, I think AJ wins here. It just makes LA Knight that much more likable. And I would love to see it debuting Tama Tonga. That would be fantastic. Although I think Tama Tonga is probably going to end up in NXT because, WWE.
Here's the thing with Tama Tonga, though, is like he's 42. He's pretty old. I don't know if he's going to go in NXT first.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. I could be wrong about his age, but I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s.
I know he's a little bit older. I still think he ends up there. But maybe the Bullet Club connection keeps him from it.
All right, next we have for the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins defends against Drew McIntyre. Fuck, bro. I kind of want Drew to win, and I think Drew is going to win.
I want Drew to win, and I think Drew's going to win as well.
Yeah, and I no disrespect to Rollins at all. I just think that what Drew has been doing is just
far more entertaining.
It's just far more entertaining. It's not to say that like Rollins has sucked either. It's just Drew has just been knocking it out of the park. He's been putting on some of his best work. So give that man a championship. And I welcome a feud with CM Punk when CM Punk gets back. If CM Punk is going to be healthy.
What direction does Seth Rollins go, though?
Maybe he goes to SmackDown. I don't know. Not sure.
Who knows? It's a tough call on that match. It's one of the harder ones to predict, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. All right, next for the WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky defends against Bayley. Hell yes, I want Bayley to win, and I think Bayley does win.
Same.
Yep.
Totally agree. Absolutely. Couldn't possibly agree more.
And of course, the headline match of the weekend. Roman Reigns defends the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes in what will likely be bloodline rules. Of course, if anyone wants Roman Reigns to win, I think you just you're a sad person.
There's a lot of people out there that are big Roman stans that would disagree with you, my friend. But I want Cody to win.
I don't understand those people. With all due respect to them, I don't understand you. But I like Roman Reigns generally, but like this reign just needs to end, and I think it's not justified him holding the championship for how little we see of him on television all the time. And it's just, yes, we can I think we can deal with that for a little while, but it's been 3.5 years, something like that at this point. And we need Cody. Cody needs to finish his story. Cody Rhodes wins this, and it happens in epic fashion. I've said it before on the show. I think that this is going to be similar to like Avengers Endgame. I think we might see Austin. I think we might see Cena. I think we might see like all these different reinforcements of people that have been wronged by Roman Reigns and The Rock. And it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like Avengers Endgame, bro. And I think that Rock in his Hollywood mind is concocting something like that.
Um, if The Rock wasn't involved, and I know if I would sit here and I would be saying Roman Reigns is going to win, right? But since The Rock is involved, and assuming The Rock is going to be around for the foreseeable future, and this parlays itself into a Rock versus Roman feud for SummerSlam or beyond,
yeah,
then yes, Cody wins. Cody's going to win. So yeah, at the end of the day, Cody is going to win. I want him to win. I think he's going to win. I think it's a tougher decision for Triple H and the powers that be than a lot of people give them credit for, because you have this historic reign that, while some people just want to be over, other people are like, hell yeah. Like, I know you don't think they exist, but like there are big time Roman fans that want that shit to go on forever. So, I don't know, man. It's a tough decision for me, even, but how hard must it be for, like I said, the powers that be to make that decision? But ultimately, I do think Cody finishes his story. As much as I want to be a contrarian and say Roman is going to win, I just don't see it happening. Cody walks out champ.
Yeah, let's not. I don't know. I think that if you want Roman to win, it's like you want to see the world burn. But that's just me. You know, you're entitled to your opinion. But yeah, I think that Cody finishes his story here, and yeah, we're gonna have a really great weekend of wrestling. And let's cap this off with what we have ahead for Joey Janela's Spring Break 8. It's gonna happen tomorrow night. So let's just get into it. Who you got? Who you want? First, we're gonna start off with the Grab the Brass Ring ladder match, which, according to Wikipedia, don't have any competitors that are listed there. I don't know if you have that information or not.
I don't either, and I'm looking at cage match. So,
if I had to say who I think is going to win this, I mean, my biased choice, who I would want, is Alec Price. I think,
sure.
I'm saying his graces, praised him so many times, but I think I'm going to go with Jimmy Lloyd.
Without knowing, I'll say Cole Radrick.
Okay, nice. All right, next we have the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, and Kerry Morton against the East West Express. Jordan Oliver, Nick Wayne, and Mike Bailey. 6-person tag team match here. Whew, this is it's going to be a nice little contrast of styles. I'm expecting to see maybe a Canadian Destroyer from Ricky Morton,
or
and
7.
Yeah, I think the Young Guns win this match.
Same.
Yep.
Same.
All right, next we have a dream match. Amazing Red making his return to GCW against Gringo Loco. This is going to fuck, bro.
Gringo has got one of those Mike Bailey type schedules this year from what I've seen, man, and I'm looking forward to his catalog for Mania Week 2024.
Absolutely. I think people are just really starting to recognize the brilliance of Gringo Loco. By the way, I think his Lucha show this year, you know how he usually has a Lucha show on the Collective every year? I think it's actually happening on Cinco de Mayo. He's kind of having his own like thing going on, which I think is pretty cool. And I think it's a testament to just like how he can kind of sell himself and like his own brand of wrestling.
Absolutely.
But I think Gringo wins here. He continues on his amazing run.
Yeah, Gringo getting put over by Amazing Red will do wonders for him as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dragon Gate Classic, Dragon Kid, KZY, and Yamato versus Rewa New Generation, Ben K, Kota Moro, and Shun Skywalker. This is a 6-man like Dragon Gate past versus Dragon Gate current. I don't know. I guess I'll go with Dragon Gate Classic.
Sure, I don't know enough about it.
It's just going to be fun. I don't really care who wins.
I don't have much of a feeling about it either way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a match that I'm sure is going to be very, very violent. Masha Slamovich and Rina Yamashita against Masato Tanaka and Minoru Suzuki. Oh, yes.
I predict pain.
I predict I want the women to win, but I think the men are going to win.
I think so, too. I won't say unfortunately. I like both teams very much.
I think Minoru Suzuki is the type of guy that's like, yeah, I'll wrestle a woman. I'm just not going to lose to her. You know?
I actually think he's more progressive than that, but yes, I do think that that ultimately the men win in this match.
All right, next we have Matt Cardona against Blue Cane, who is using the name Blue Pain because he doesn't
so as to not get sued.
Yes.
Probably for the best.
I guess Cardona wins this. This is just kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's fun, but like to me, it's like a joke that's kind of gone on for too long. In my opinion,
they hadn't been able to wrestle until now, so I guess it's
Oh wait, Blue Cane was like injured or something.
I don't know, but I know that they haven't wrestled yet.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, it'll be what it is. Then we got Danhausen and someone I'm not familiar with, Ram Kaicho versus Maki Deathkill, Maki Ito, and Nick Gage. I got Maki Deathkill, but I'd love to see some more from Danhausen. And the appearances I've seen of Danhausen in GCW lately have been a lot of fun. He opened up like a very dark side of himself to face. Who did he face again? I want to say he faced like Vance Warner.
Charles Mason.
Charles Mason. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. That was really good shit. Surprised Charles Mason is not in this match. And now that you mentioned Charles Mason, very good choice to win the Grab the Brass Ring ladder match.
Yeah. Always with all the backup he has, I would say so for sure.
All right. Probably the most anticipated match in terms of the collective this weekend for my money. I Quit match between former friends Effie and Mance Warner. This is going to be very, very good shit here, man. I think
I don't know how they're going to top the last one, but yes.
It's going to be super bloody. It's going to be emotional and intense. I am very excited about this. Of course, if you have a heart, you want Effie to win.
Sure.
I can see it going either way, but I think Effie's going to win.
I think Effie wins. Mance won the last one, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think so. Because Mance Mance like got his comeuppance the last show.
Okay.
Yeah. And Effie won with some reinforcements. Yeah.
So you know what? If this is the second of their matches, then I'm gonna say that Mance wins.
I think it's the third, actually. I think they're tied because I think Mance won the first one.
Oh, okay. All right. If it's the rubber match, and forgive my ignorance, if it is the rubber match, then yes, Effie wins.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then finally for the GCW World Championship, the boyhood dream might come true. Joey Janela with Missy Hyatt at his side against Blake Christian with his heavy Shane Mercer.
I love that pairing, by the way.
Yeah, I love the pairing too, but this has to be the night that Blake Christian finally drops the GCW World Championship. And who better for him to have the title taken off of him than by Joey Janela? And I think that this is the right time to give the championship to Joey Janela. I think that Joey has been through this entire GCW run pretty selfless, not making himself the champ for a very long time. So I think that this is well deserved at this point for Joey. I think that I haven't watched Ring of Honor much, but I've seen some of the clips of Blake Christian in Ring of Honor lately, and he's putting on bangers. And I think that he is valuable to the future of AEW. And let's let Blake Christian go. Let him do his thing, and have Joey become the GCW World Championship. And ever since we mentioned that about the brass ring ladder match with Charles Mason, I like the idea of like a Joey versus Charles Mason GCW feud, a title feud, more and more. So,
yeah. I like all of those things. So I know that we said we were gonna finish on this here, but I just want to run down a card for you real quick, because I don't know that we actually spoke about it at all, and that's the Super Card of Honor. So just really quickly, that show is on tomorrow night, and here's some of the matches. And we can do it really quickly, a rapid fire. First off, Billy Starks versus Queen Aminata for the inaugural Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship. Who you got there?
Aminata.
I got Billy. All right. Kyle Fletcher versus Lee Johnson for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship.
Kyle Fletcher.
I got Lee. Johnny TV versus Dalton Castle. Fight without honor.
Dalton Castle.
I agree. Then we have a Stardom Showcase 6-women tag. May Sarah and Empress Nexus Venus, Mina Shirakawa and Maika versus Tam Nakano and Queen's Quest, which is Saya Kamatani and AZM. I don't know anything about this, so I will just say Queen's Quest because
the second team you mentioned.
All right. Then we have the Undisputed Kingdom, Taven and Bennett versus the Infantry for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles.
I'll tell you who I want to win. I want the Infantry to win.
Same.
But I don't think it happens yet with such little build. But then again, this is Ring of Honor, so it's just kind of a fuck it, let's do it promotion. If you even want to call it that.
I'm gonna call it a title change here too. With the Infantry, I think that one build, they built them up strong enough in the last couple of matches. Fuck it, let them have it. They're not doing anything with the titles.
Exactly. Fuck them, let them have it. And just like, I think that Ring of Honor they need to have their champions be guys that aren't regularly featured on AEW television. Let's just separate the brand for a bit.
And the Infantry has been on Ring of Honor a lot, so not in the fuck it, let them have it, but like fuck it, it's let the guys that are going to be on the TV show have it, essentially. So, all right. Next we have Athena versus Hikaru Shida for the Ring of Honor Women's World Title. Athena wins. And finally, we have Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
I got Mark.
I do too, man. I want Eddie, obviously, but I got Mark.
I completely forgot that card was happening, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's why I whipped it out real quick for us, for all the folks at home, and we still made it in under an hour. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us on Instagram at Smarknado, on Twitter at Smarknado1. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I don't want to leave without saying that there are just.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Session Moth Martina and Gene Money are going to be facing Bussy this weekend. It's going to happen tomorrow at Progress.
There's so many matches that I'm hard pressed to pick out one or two that I really want to go out of my way to see. I know that Billy Starks is wrestling Mao tonight at the DDT against GCW show, which I would like to see. I just know that there's some cards we've talked about, some cards we haven't. We didn't even mention Big Gay Brunch or For the Culture, both of which are happening this weekend as well. So I know that without a job, it's very easy for me to watch a lot of wrestling. So by Tuesday, I will have watched.
Bro, Big Gay Brunch, I think that the match that just kind of like sticks out to me as like can't miss, Dirty Breeze and Dirty Dango against Bussy. Another match with Bussy. But still, like that's going to be so fun.
Effie's putting in work this weekend, huh?
Yeah,
as always. Who's shocked by that? Nobody
is. But yeah, Dan, you got anything left to say?
No, an abundance of wrestling, man, and I'm gonna try and watch as much as possible, and then take a much needed wrestling break, except for maybe Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
So, as always, y'all stay fresh, cheese bags.
Enjoy WrestleMania, friends, and keep watching wrestling.